So who out there likes random foods? I know I do. And today I'm going to show you a couple of recipes, actually 3 recipes, that are just kind of random recipes I made this week. But I think they're really good and I think you're going to like them. Hi, Debbie Chu here from Chu on Vegan, and welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new here, I'm a plant-based RN and I follow the START solution. On my channel, you're going to find quick and easy whole food plant-based recipes, so if that sounds good to you, please subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram for more plant-based content. Check out the links below for my newsletter, for my Facebook group, and for my e-guide. So let's get going on these recipes. The first one I'm going to be showing you is going to be a surprise. So if you want to find out what these random recipes are, let's get started. So to start these chickpea breadcrumbs, I've got 1 can of chickpeas that I've rinsed and drained. We're going to put them on this dish towel. Oops, lost a couple. And we just want to get most of the moisture out. So I'm just going to pat them. Now they're going to go into the food processor. Now we're just going to pulse these for a few times. We just want to break them down, get them smaller. You don't want to make hummus, you don't want mush, so just keep an eye on it. So that was about 6 pulses. And you can see the consistency. There's some whole ones in there. It's all fine. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna do this process again, but first we're going to put them in the oven. So I've got a lined baking sheet here, and we're just gonna spread them out. So you just want to get them into a single layer, thin layer here. The first time in the oven is to get them dried out, to get the moisture out. Then we will pulse them again to get them to the consistency we want, and then we'll put them in the oven again. So if you see these big ones here, just go ahead and smash them down. It's fine. Or you don't have to, they'll get pulsed the next time around, but it's just, they dry out better if they're smaller. So these are going to go in the oven for 15 minutes, then back into the food processor, and then back in the oven. Now for the next random recipe, we're going to make some homemade rice cakes. I love things that are crunchy. And so we're just going to use 1 ingredient, rice. I have leftover rice that was in the fridge. It's important that it was in the fridge. And then they come out like this, and they're crispy, a little chewy on the inside, crispy on the outside. The beautiful thing about these is you can season them however you want. If you just want to use garlic salt or onion powder, you could do a Mexican seasoning, you could do a pizza seasoning, and then dip them in whatever you want. You could dip them in, if you did a pizza, you could do it in marinara. These are so versatile, and these just came in my brain one day, and they're just kind of fun to make. So I'm going to show you how to make these. Okay, so I'm just going to use my little mini scooper here. I've got 2 pieces of parchment paper, and I've got my air fryer with some parchment paper in it. Then I'm just going to take a scoop of rice, and then you're just going to put it on one of the parchment papers, and then you'll put the other parchment paper on top, and then you want to really flatten it out. Then once you've done that, then you're going to just peel off the paper carefully, and you're going to put it into the air fryer. Now I'm just going to season them up with a little onion powder and a little garlic powder. So this is after the first round of baking, and now we're going to put them back into the food processor to get them to the consistency we like, and then we're going to bake them for another 15 minutes. Okay, now we're going to do the final pulsing here. At this point I like to do a little seasoning, so I'm just going to put a little bit of garlic salt in there and a little onion powder. And you don't have to do this. If you want to leave them plain, that's fine. I just like a little bit of spice on mine. And now you just pulse them until they're the consistency that you want. This is just a personal preference. All right, and that's pretty much how I like it. And then now I'm going to put it on the baking sheet for the final baking. And again, you want to spread this out into a nice even layer. And then this is going to bake for 15 minutes. And then we will turn the oven off and let it sit in there for about 15-20 minutes, and then they'll be ready to use. And then I'm going to show you what I do with these breadcrumbs for another random recipe. So these are going back in the oven. Okay, so here they are, finished. I'm just gonna dip them in some cheese sauce. I mean, just to show you the crispness. I mean, these are just tasty little snacks, perfect vehicle for your cheese sauce. Okay, they've been in the oven for about 25 minutes, turned off, and they're nice and dry, perfect for breadcrumbs. Okay, now let's put together the next random recipe, which are going to be vegan mozzarella sticks. So we'll be using hearts of palm to make our vegan mozzarella sticks. So I've drained the hearts of palm, and we're just going to lay them out here on this dish towel. And this whole jar, there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 7. So this whole jar is only 60 calories. This is one of the reasons why I love hearts of palm. And these do come from an actual palm. And they will have that consistency of mozzarella, which is another plus. So you just want to make sure they're pretty dried off. If you saw my last video, I made Dr. McDougall's mayo, and we're going to use that to coat these hearts of palm, and then we're going to roll them in our breadcrumbs here. So I'm just going to put some in this dish. So we'll just start rolling these in the mayo, get them coated, and kind of get the excess. You don't want them too thick on there. And then just roll them into the breadcrumbs, and then they go straight into the air fryer. And this gets a little messy, but you can use a fork if you want. So roll them in the mayo, get the excess off, about like that. And you can see that. Roll them in the breadcrumbs and into the air fryer. Okay, I'm gonna finish up doing all these, and then we're gonna put them in the air fryer. Okay, so I've got them all in here, and they're gonna go in the air fryer at 370 degrees for about 15 to 17 minutes. You wanna check it at 15. Look at these, how pretty they came out. And I'm just gonna pair it with a little marinara. All right, hearts of palm mozzarella sticks. This is a really good appetizer. If you have some people over, it's usually a big hit. Just paired it with a little marinara. So let's give this a taste. So good. Let me show you the inside. So it does resemble a mozzarella stick, a breaded mozzarella stick. And like I said, very low fat. 60 calories for all of these. A little bit more with the marinara and the breading, but come on. You can't beat this for a low calorie snack. One more bite. So good. Now this is perfect for 2 people. Usually I get 3. My husband gets 4. If you like this video, if you got value out of it, if you learned something, please give me a like. I really appreciate that. And if you've made it to this far in the video, please comment below with random foods. And I will probably do more of these random foods because that's kind of how I eat, random stuff. So if you like that type of video, please comment below with your thoughts on that. And there may be bloopers at the end, or there may not be, so you just have to wait and see. Remember, all my recipes are good for you, they're good for the animals, and they're good for the planet, and what you put on your plate determines your fate and your weight. Until next time, thank you. And if you've already been here before, thank you for coming back, and you can just move on to the end of the video. Just kidding. One moment, there's a truck leaving. Oh, no, 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 no. That's disgusting. I don't want that in the background.